Welcome to Tech Talk, y'all.
Hi, and welcome to Tech Talk, y'all, season 12, episode 301. I'm Adam Walker.
And I'm Sanjay Parekh.
And this episode is brought to you by our companies, togetherletters.com and Edgewise.Media. Together Letters is a way for you to connect with the important people in your life without having to worry about the intricacies and insanities of social media. Yeah, that's what I said. Intricacies. That's a good tagline. Insanities of social media.
And that's a tongue twister. Intricacies.
Yeah, intricacies and insanities. And Edgewise is all about podcasting and content marketing. So if you need some content for content marketing, hit us up on Edgewise.media. So
even if you don't need content for content marketing,
we'll still help. We'll still talk. It'll be great.
Hit us up.
It'll be great.
It'll be fun to chat.
So we have a lighter day. So we're going to take more time and joke about random stuff. That's what's going to happen. I'm not even going to pretend it's not, but we do have some weird and wacky, some good ones, and then tech wrecks at the end. So make sure to stay tuned. So Sanjay, you want to kick us off?
Let's do this thing. First up, this AI powered app wants to optimize Google Maps multi-stop routes. Yes.
I've wondered why this isn't a thing forever. Like, it seems
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so, well, here's the thing I have an issue.
Okay.
I'm normally a Waze person.
Yep.
And Waze only allows you one stop.
You can add a stop during it if you want to on Waze. You can be in a drive,
but
and
only
if you do
one
a search.
Stop.
Oh, I see.
You can't do two stops
in a
drive.
I got you. Okay, that makes sense.
But they're owned by Google.
Mm-hmm.
And you can do multi-stops on Google Maps.
Right.
But it's apparently not good. So this app, essentially what it is, it's really tailored towards people that are multi-stopping, going to clients' locations, whatever. You can enter in all the stops and it'll optimize your entire route based on all of those stops, which is super, super smart.
I gotta say, I had an idea for this probably 2 years ago. I think we talked about it actually. And I was like,
I'm sure
somebody should build this. And you're like, yeah, they should, but you have other things to do. And I was like, that's true. I do. So I'm not gonna do that right now. But yeah, no, this is.
And the subtext there was like, and you and I don't have the skills to actually pull this off. So
that is also correct.
So this is the traveling salesman problem that is a classic computer science problem.
Yeah.
And they're using AI, I guess, to optimize this and kind of figure this out. I wonder how this works with traffic though, because traffic is a integral part of optimizing your route like this, because going to and from a certain location is very different in different times of the day, depending on where it is.
Right.
So I wonder how they do that, but this, I'm sure, is better than what exists right now, and that's basically nothing. So
yeah,
there you go. Enjoy people who drive around looking for stuff.
Well, speaking of driving around, a bumper sticker mocking Elon Musk is sparking a polarizing debate about what it means to drive a Tesla. So the bumper sticker reads, "I bought this before I knew Elon was crazy," which. I think if I had a Tesla, that I would 100% put that on my car. I really do. Like I think I would want people to know, like, I'm not on team Elon, and I never will be. So yeah.
What's funny is months ago, there is somebody here in town that I was with, who's a very large environmentalist, who was telling me that their family was actually considering getting rid of, I think, 3 Teslas that they own.
Okay.
Because of him.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
I was like, I get it. That's rough, but
I mean, like, go Rivian, go electric Jeep. I mean, like, there's so many other options now.
Yeah.
Like you can have any, like, if it feels to me like every other car is sort of very bland. And then like in like Tesla's, like you look at them and you're like, like as you're driving down the road, like that's what it feels like to me. It's the way you look at anybody if they're wearing a red baseball cap right now. It's like,
right.
Wait, what does it say on the? It's a red cap. It's got some white letters on the front. Wait, okay, no, we can talk. It doesn't say that. Okay, we're good. Like that. It's kind of like that. Like that's how the Tesla feels to me.
Yeah.
So
by the way, a shout out to Rivian. They just recently acquired somebody who was a friend, Kel Gruner, who was the head of Porsche USA. he's actually just moved over to become the chief business officer, I think, or chief commercialization officer over at Rivian.
Oh, okay.
And Rivian's got a huge development here in Georgia. So they're doing some interesting things. But also, like, can you name the CEO of Rivian?
No. And I love that. I love that. I don't want to know. I should not know the name of the CEO of Rivian. Should not be in the news every day about some random craziness that he's doing. Like, no, like, I'm good.
We both use these Shure microphones. I can't tell you who the CEO is. No idea.
Nope. No,
great
don't need to know.
Don't need to know who
Love
they are.
the mics. Don't need to know about the guy or the girl. Don't need to know.
Yeah. Just do the right things. Just do your business.
Yeah.
Move on with that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, somebody that's not doing business right is Cruise. A person dies after Cruise Robotaxi blocks a San Francisco ambulance, fire department says. So there's a little bit of back and forth on this. Cruise says, hey, the car was stopped, but there was a lane open. And the fire department says, no, that's not true. And there were a couple of Cruise, but basically somebody was in a vehicle accident, a pedestrian that was hit. And the ambulance could not get out of there because this Cruise vehicle was sitting there, not moving.
Got it.
And maybe the ambulance could get through, but it was maybe slower than it should have been because of this vehicle. I think there's a lot of issues with these autonomous vehicles.
Yeah.
And it's not a panacea that everything's like just good and fixed by these things. This is not ideal.
Yeah, I mean, I think there are just so many variables all the time with drive. Like, there's just so many hundreds of thousands of variables that it's just hard for the AIs or the algorithms or whatever to be able to rightly respond to those things. And so I think we're gonna have this. We're gonna see this problem for the next. I think maybe for the next decade. There will come a point where it overcomes it. But I'm not sure at that point is anytime soon. But
I still think there's going to be that weird, like, black swan event where the autonomous vehicles will be like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, that event has to happen less than that same thing happening to a person, because there are times where a person's like, I don't know what to do, and they freeze and freak out or do the very wrong thing. So like, so at the point where the computer can think more critically than a human being about it and do the right thing, like that's the point where it sort of overtakes, it becomes necessary and useful.
But I think there's just so many technological challenges with this, and I think we've talked about this in the past too, is that this opens us up to potential hacking attacks and like like all kinds of things being attacked via infrastructure, because if they're machines, right? They could get hacked. If security is not good on them, and then some outside force could control it and then lock down a city by blocking up all of the intersections. And then what do you do? Right. So I don't know. I feel there's issues here, and I don't know how we solve some of these issues.
The good news is that you and I don't have to solve them. So that's the great news. We get to be consumers, and somebody else gets that problem, and we're all good. So I'm pretty happy with that. I gotta say, I will say, like, for me personally, like, I'd just be happy with super smart cruise control. Like, I'm good with just that. Like, that's fine. You know.
So define super smart cruise control for you. What does that mean?
I mean, like, like basically stays in the lane. Like, I can have my hands off the wheel and off the pedals at the same time, and just like your car probably automatic. Like I drive an older car.
Close.
I drive an older car. My car does not do that. Like it'll maintain one speed. And then if I run up on a car, it'll hit that car. Like, that's the cruise control that I like. It's more like the missile car cruise control. Like, that's what I've got.
I've got missile car.
I want something beyond that, So,
so you heard it here, listeners. Adam has the missile car.
I've got the missile car.
The rest of us just stay out of his way. The rest of us have normal cars. I think most modern cars now do.
Yeah, I drive an old car, Sanjay. That's what I'm saying. It's an old car. I don't even have a full digital display on my car. Like, there's not even it shows the radio station, and that is it. That's all I got.
Do you have a crank for the window?
No, I don't have a crank for the window. Okay. It actually does go down automatically. So that's something. That's something. All right, moving on. Facebook is getting rid of the news tab in Europe. And I got to say, like, okay, two thoughts. Number one, Facebook has a news tab? Like, that was wait, I'm sorry, what? So I literally, while we were talking, I went and logged on to Facebook and looked during the last article, and sure enough, there's a news tab in Facebook that I've never used in my whole life, and it has nothing in it. I'm all caught up according to Facebook. So I guess you have to subscribe to news feeds. I don't even know. But secondly, I mean, this is piggybacking off of their issues with Canada. They're assuming that Europe is going to do the same thing, and they're going to try to do a tax on links to news articles. And Facebook's like, fine, we just won't send any traffic there. We're just going to take the news tab away altogether. Not a problem. We're going to preliminarily get ready for this fight. So
preemptively.
Preemptively, not that's what I'm preemptively. Thank you. Yes, not preliminarily, but preemptively. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, that's what they're doing. That's a smart move, I guess.
I just logged in to Facebook as well. Where's the news tab?
It's on the left under Show More. Question: if you take away a feature that someone has never seen, does the feature exist? It's like if the tree falls in the woods and nobody's there to hear it, does it really make a sound? Like very similar questions. That's all.
So I almost never log into Facebook, and I hit the news. I'm already caught up. I have no news.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're good to go. Like you subscribe to the right amount of news, which is none. That's the correct amount to subscribe to. So
yeah. And then I'm also seeing like I have friend requests from people that I don't even know who these people are.
Man, I get all kinds of random friend requests. I don't click on any of those, man. They're all a bunch of scary looking folks. So I don't know
what is happening here. Yeah. So I wonder about this Facebook thing. Maybe this is better for society?
Oh, for sure. I think I would love it if you can't share news on Facebook. Like that will shut down so much of the rumor mill and the insane conspiracy theorists and all. Like let's shut all that down. That's a great idea. Let's get rid of all of it. Like send that over to Reddit. That's fine. It can live on Reddit all day long. That's great.
Maybe we should get rid of text messages as well on there, and maybe it should only be photos.
Photos and videos. There's an app for that. It's
I know.
Called
Maybe Facebook. I mean, they're not called Facebook anymore. They're Meta. So maybe they should just shut down Facebook and just do
what they really should do is really mess with people and go to the Facebook, like just to really screw with people. That'd be great. That's all I'm saying.
Do they still own thefacebook.com?
I have no idea. Probably. I assume they would. While you check.
The Facebook. Oh, I got a potential warning risk thingy.
Oh no. That's bad news.
It did forward to Facebook. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it is risky going to Facebook. I mean, it's a known factor, man. It's a known thing.
I guess that is an accurate warning.
It's a known entity.
Like,
yeah.
Careful what you're doing.
Are you sure you want to be here?
Like, you might want to slow your roll.
There's some crazy folks up in here. You sure you want to be? Okay. All right, you can go.
This is the place for crazy. You might not be crazy, so you might not want to join us.
Yeah. All right.
Talking about people that want to control things. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
China bans government officials from using iPhones at work.
This feels like a response to governments banning TikTok. Like that's what this feels like a response to. Like,
well, I think it's that, but it's also the U.S. government banning Huawei. The networking equipment company.
In all fairness, like, okay, like let's look at this realistically. Like, what is the likelihood that there's spy technology embedded in a Chinese-made smartphone versus the likelihood that there's spy technology embedded in an Apple smartphone? Let's just, I mean, come on. Like, I feel like I'm trying to think of a good analogy. Like, it's apples and oranges, man. Like, it's just.
So the other phones are the oranges and the apples are the apples?
Yeah. That's it. Yes. It's apples and Huawei. That's what it is. Like, I mean, it's just so, it's silly. It's absolutely silly.
But then again, like we don't really know like what happens behind the scenes at Apple, right? Like,
I mean,
they may say like, oh, we're all for the user and protection and stuff, but they might be like, by the way, here's this little way to get in case you need to get some stuff from the things, like, or, oh yeah, there is this exploit. We're not going to close that up because only you guys know about it right now. So go ahead and use that up.
I mean, maybe it just seems
like there's no way to know, right? Like, I mean, Apple is, how many employees is Apple? It's like a bajillion people, right?
Yeah.
It's a lot. And there's a lot of people doing a lot of things in a thing like that you just don't know. It's like government, right? It's so many people. There's There's somebody messing up right now, right?
You sound like you're going down the conspiracy theory rabbit. Like, it's like the government. You can't really trust them. There's just so many of them. Somebody's in the pocket of big corporations.
I mean, yeah, there is, right? Like there's so many of them.
Yeah.
Somebody is messing up there right now, right?
Yeah.
In any big company, like name any big company, somebody's messing up right now.
Let me think. Name any Tesla. Is there anybody?
There's lots of people messing up right now.
SpaceX. Is there anybody?
Tons of people messing up right now.
The Boring Company. Is there anybody?
Oh, tons.
Okay, got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. I get you.
I think you're just picking on one person. But
I don't know what you're talking about, Sanjay. All right. Last up before we're in Wacky, Da Vinci robot surgeon removes inoperable tumor, saving patient's life. That's amazing. Walk me through the details.
Yeah. So basically the Da Vinci robot is this robot.
Dude, it is whacked out looking, man. There's like 4 robot arms sticking into somebody's abdomen. It looks like, whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the Da Vinci has been around for a while, but it allows a surgeon to do very fine motor control surgeries,
right,
without actually having their hands in there.
Got it.
And so this individual had a tonsil, like cancer on their tonsil and their tongue or something like that.
Right.
And if they normally had to go in, they would have had to break their jaw to get their hands in there. And instead, there was an incision in the neck and they went in because these tools are so small.
Yeah, right.
So they're able to, and the robot can control them. They can go through a very small opening like that. So they were able to go in there and basically excise the cancer without having to do this radical surgery that would have taken all of it out, probably, massively disfigured the individual, prevented them from being able to communicate and speak in the future. But they're obviously still having to go through therapy and learning how to speak again because of the location of the cancer.
Right.
But it is super fascinating. There's no AI really, I think, to this. Maybe there was a little bit of AI stuff that helped to kind of identify it, but basically it's just a robot. And what's fascinating to me is just the advances in this kind of stuff because 10 years ago, 20 years ago, this would have been like, hey, yeah, we're just going to keep trying to blow it away with chemo and radiation. Yeah. And
right.
If you get lucky, or you might not be lucky. So I'm very excited about the whole field of healthcare and medicine with all the technology and some of the discoveries that have happened. And we've just had over the last few years with the pandemic as well, right? With these vaccines and how quickly we're able to do some of this stuff. And there's new vaccines coming out because of the work during COVID and the pandemic that could help fight cancers and other diseases that we've not had anything to fight with so far. So there's some really, really neat stuff. I actually read an article about a new, and I never tagged it for this because it was too in the weeds, but I'm going to talk about it anyway now.
All right, go for it.
A new antibiotic that was isolated from some sand in North Carolina. And this antibiotic attacks bacterias in a way that they don't have a defense for. And it's like a novel protein that they can't mutate away from.
Oh, okay.
And so it might be a antibiotic. It's going to take about 10 years for it to actually come to fruition, but antibiotic that bacteria cannot develop a resistance to, which would be huge.
Okay. So side note, speaking of antibiotics and going down rabbit holes for half a moment. So my wife is in nursing school and she's got to study all these antibiotics and drugs and stuff. And she's like, do you know the side effects of da 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 da? It's da 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 da. And I'm like, that sounds horrifying. No, I'd rather be sick. That sounds terrible. Anyway, so
the side effect sounds worse than the disease.
Yeah, I think there's a whole comedy bit about that, but
I'm sure there is.
It's crazy stuff.
Time for the Weird and Wacky segment.
Abominable snowman. He's not an axe murderer. One of the TAs turned out to be a bot.
All right, next up, I'll go. Next up, study discovers unexpected link between internet use and dementia. And the unexpected link is that if an older person uses the internet more, they have less dementia, which is not exactly what you would have expected. So
when I read the title of this, I was like, "Uh-oh, I'm in trouble."
Yeah, me too. I was like, "This is gonna go badly." And I think I didn't get into the depth of it, or I didn't go into depth, but I'm assuming it's that because internet use requires thoughtful brain functioning activity. And so it continues to sharpen the mind versus like, for example, just watching a TV is very passive. Like internet usage is active. You're searching for things, you're reading things, whatever. It's keeping your mind sharp, right?
Yeah. As reading this article, I was wondering, like, is there a comparison to just reading books? Like, is there
I was wondering the same thing. Like, what about a person that just reads a lot or goes and plays chess at the park a lot or what? Not that you can really do that in Metro Atlanta, but you do it it's in the movies where you can go play chess in the park. So
I think that's only one place, right? In New York.
You're probably right, but I feel like I see it in like every movie. It's like every major city's obviously got chessboard set up. So everyone they're all over the place.
I'm sure there's a place here somewhere in Atlanta, right? That
we should find out.
Somewhere?
Yeah, I can go lose.
Or you and I could just meet up someplace in a park and just play
just like randomly in like a parking garage with chessboard on the back of the car. Like, this is weird. What's going on?
I was thinking in a park, not in a parking garage.
I feel like parking garage is way funnier though. So chessinaparkinggarage.com. It's not weird. It's not weird. It's not weird.
Chessinaparkinggarage.com. That's your new domain.
That's
in
for
case
sure
you were
not
looking
taken.
if you didn't have a personal domain and you needed a personal domain,
that's it.
Chessinaparkinggarage.com.
That's it. That's the one.
And then as you're in your parking garage and you're realizing like, hey, my electric vehicle needs more power, you could just use toothpaste apparently. Toothpaste ingredient could extend the range of electric cars. It's not actually toothpaste, but it's fluoride. It's fluorine.
Okay.
Something like that. Yeah. So apparently fluorine added to the electrolyte of these batteries changes the way that they charge and discharge and extends the life and the energy density of those batteries. And so this actually might be something that gets implemented reasonably soon. We've talked about some other battery technologies coming out, like solid state batteries and some other things that could revolutionize how EVs charge, as well as how far they go on a full charge.
Right.
So I think this is yet another one of those things of like, if you're thinking about buying an EV, you might want to lease it because the tech is going to really change in the next couple of years. So
yeah, I totally agree.
Be aware.
Tech wreck, time to get your tech wreck.
Tech wreck. Chicky.
Tech wreck. Time to get your tech wreck.
Okay, Adam, it is tech wreck time. What do you have for us this week?
Okay, so I'm going to bring back an old but favorite tech wreck.
Oldie but a goodie.
For a specific reason. So I'm going to recommend the Ember Mug, specifically the Ember Mug 2. So the Ember Mug, for those that don't know, is a mug that you charge it up. It's a coffee mug or tea mug or whatever mug, hot beverage mug that you charge. And then it has an app. And with the app, you pour the hot liquid in. The app tells you exactly how hot the liquid is, and then it gives you an alert when it's at your preferred temperature so you don't, scald your mouth or your tongue. And then it keeps it hot for a really long period of time at that temperature until the battery eventually dies. So I've recommended it before because I love it. It's great. It's functional. It's fantastic. But I'm recommending it today because I had a problem with my Ember 2 mug. I'd had it for about 2 years, and the finish on the bottom inside of the mug was starting to kind of rub off, which means that it's coming off in my beverage, which is not great. It's kind of gross, right? So I'm not going to drink out of that anymore.
Right.
So, I sent in a support ticket and sent them a photo of the mug, and it was out of warranty, and they still replaced it for me for free, which was amazing. So I was like, they're the best ever. It's a great company. It's a great product. I've loved it for years and years. This is my third one now. It's just fantastic. So
did you have to send in the old one back or?
No, I don't think, now my wife handled most of the communication there because it was through her account because she had bought it for me as a gift originally. So, but I don't think we have to send the old one back, but I haven't gotten rid of it yet because I want to be sure. Right. But we sent a photo and they sent a mug and it's all good. So yeah, love it.
Maybe I'll get you to send me that photo and then I can. No, that's wrong. I would never do that.
No.
My wife actually has an Ember mug as well. I bought it for her as a gift.
Nice.
And she loves it as well. But
that's great.
I love hearing your experience with this because if we ever have a problem, I'm gonna make
then
sure
you know what to do.
Send them a note and be like, hey, hook me up like my boy Adam.
Help us out here.
Yeah.
All right, Sanjay, what's your tech wreck for this week?
So my tech wreck piggybacks on my tech wreck from last week. I mentioned last week I loved Ecobee.
Ecobee.
and I had a tech rec for this week that was going to make ecobee even better. So it's the Home Assistant Yellow. So Home Assistant is a open source home automation application and tool. And Home Assistant Yellow is a custom built device that runs on a Raspberry Pi CM4, which is their newest version.
Right.
And so it's this little device, which, by the way, does not report anything to the cloud or anybody else if you don't want it to. But this little device, I've started connecting it to everything in my house. So ecobee is one of them. And with the Home Assistant, I can actually get out of the ecobee the exact temperature to 1 decimal place. So, 78 point whatever degrees. I get the exact, decimal point.
Okay.
I get the humidity. I get volatile organic compounds. I get carbon dioxide. The Home Assistant tracks this over time and gives me graphs as to the flow of things inside of the house over time, which is kind of awesome. Now, the other thing that I've already gotten with the Home Assistant going on is I've started automating things. So if you remember, if this, then that.
Yep.
Home Assistant almost does the exact same thing. So it has, if this happens, then with these conditions, then do this.
Okay.
So I've got a recirculating pump for our hot water heater now in our house.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a sensor directly tied to that. So I bought a little device, which I'm going to recommend in a future episode, that turns on and off the recirculating pump. And then I've got a light switch that's a motion sensing light switch in the bathroom.
Okay.
So when I go in, the motion sensing light switch detects me. The Home Assistant knows that I'm in the bathroom, and then it goes ahead and turns on the recirculating pump for 3 minutes to get hot water into the bathroom right away. So when I turn on the tap, boom, hot water.
Oh, so wow.
It is really, really neat. The Home Assistant will control, literally everything.
Huh.
It'll do doors. It'll do lights. It'll do temperature things. It'll do, watering your lawn. It does everything.
Okay. Nice.
And then I've got a bunch of other things that I'm playing with that are going to be future recommendations if they work well. But all this home automation stuff is really, really kind of neat. We're really enjoying being in the house and being able to, now I walk into rooms. I don't touch the light switch in most rooms. It's all on motion sensor. So the lights just come on. And then I can just leave, and then it just
goes
realizes
off
after a little while.
You don't have to do that dad thing where you're like, turn off the lights. What are y'all doing? I'm not made of money. You don't have to do that.
Yes, I've done that before, and
I don't know what you're talking about. I've never.
And I don't have to do that anymore, and I really like it. So
I haven't done that today.
It's a lot of fun. You did that today?
No, I haven't done that today. What are you talking about, Sanjay? Why are you accusing me, man?
Is it because it's just too early and the kids are still asleep?
That's because nobody's here. Nobody's
here. Because you already ran around the house.
I'm basically yelling at myself, and then who left this light? Oh, it's just me and the dogs. Oh crap. Okay.
It wasn't the dogs. They don't have the
dogs are the ones
dexterity.
leaving the lights on. That's it. That's what happens. So
they don't have the dexterity to turn on the lights. But see, if you had one of these motion sensing lights, the dogs could just wander into rooms and have the lights turn on for them.
God, that'd be so good for them. And then they could look out the windows and bark more. Wait, no, they do that anyway. Never mind.
Would they get freaked out if the lights just turn on their own?
No, man, they don't care. They're
oblivious.
They're oblivious to it all. Yeah. They're basically oblivious to everything that's not motion outside of the window that they can bark at. That's it. They're just attacking people.
So if somebody comes in the house, they're like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, depending.
You're already in the house.
It could, depending on who it is. So. Well, that's cool, man. I'm looking forward to learning more about your home automation stuff. One of these days, I will get a list of things from you that I'll need to purchase, but not today, but one of these days. So
there you go.
All right, Sanjay, how can our listeners find and connect with you?
They can find me at sanjayparikh.com. That's the best place. I might actually try to write a blog post in the near future. So
yeah, man, I've given up on that lately. I ain't got time.
Have you?
I haven't written a blog post or newsletter thing in probably 3 months. I just haven't had time. I'm buried, man. I got so much stuff going on. I am doing a ton of reading, and even listening to audiobooks right now. But man, just not much time to write at the moment. So
I just went to look. May 12th was your last post.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute.
So if listeners want to find your last post, where do they find that?
They find it at adamjwalker.com. That May 12th post was fire. So go check. I don't even remember what it was, but go check it out.
What are we wrong about today?
Man, we were wrong. I'm wrong about so freaking much today. That's what I'm wrong about. So freaking much. So that was actually a good post. I like that one. Anyway.
That was a good one to end on.
Yeah.